We take compelling stories and really unpack them for you. Today we're journeying into, well, a pretty ancient and mystical world with Love Beyond the Crown, Yasmina and Jafraan. It's this narrative that feels, almost like a fable, but with this deep realism to it. All about love, sacrifice, destiny, big themes.
It really is. And what's so captivating, I think, is how it uses this metaphor of chains. It's a way to explore these really universal ideas, freedom, what identity means, and the real cost, you could say, of a deep connection.
Right, the obstacles they face, these chains, and what that shows us about, well, the human spirit.
Exactly. We'll look at how these challenges test their bond.
So our mission today, let's explore this beautiful story, really get a feel for the world they live in, and follow their journey. It's got some surprising turns.
Definitely. And we can look at the narrative choices, too, what makes it resonate.
Okay, let's dive in. So the setting is the Sultanate of Sumrah, described as ancient, mysterious, nestled in blue mountains.
Mm-hmm. You get this sense of grandeur, right? Marble palaces, fragrant air.
And right at the center, Qasr-e Shafaq, the Palace of Twilight. The text even says its walls have the golden essence of the soil. Very poetic.
Yeah, it sets a certain tone. And this is King Shahryar Almir's domain. And his most prized possession, as the story puts it, his daughter, Princess Yasmina.
Now, Yasmina, she's not just your typical pampered princess. She's educated and used art, literature.
Right. Raised in luxury, but there's this deep internal conflict. The narrative calls her a caged bird.
A caged bird.
Yeah.
Longing for freedom, for an identity that's just hers, not princess, not heir.
She dreams under the moonlight of being just Yasmina. It's quite poignant, actually, that classic tension between, privilege and personal longing.
And then we meet Jafraan. He's from this distant village, Qasr-e Yell Mountain, right?
Yes. And he's immediately set up as different. Not a courtier, not a scholar in the usual sense. He's a magician, but quiet, connected to nature.
The descriptions are amazing. He talked to the winds, read messages from bird wings.
Gleaned truth from the moonlight. His eyes have the colors of autumn, his voice the light of spring. It positions him as this, organic force, part of the natural world itself.
And his magic isn't flashy, is it?
No, not at all. It's described as a secret revealed only to pure hearts. They call him Musavir Takdir.
The painter of destiny.
Exactly, someone who can touch the threads of fate. So you have this great contrast. The princess bound by walls, the magician flowing with nature.
It immediately makes you think, doesn't it? Is destiny fixed, or do we paint it ourselves?
That's the question the story seems to pose right away.
So one day, Yasmina acts on this longing. She slips away from the palace, seeking freedom.
A brave move, given her situation.
She finds this silent valley, a blue pond described like a piece of the sky had descended.
Beautiful imagery.
And Jafraan is there. Wines dancing around him, words formed from air scattered in his hands.
Wow.
And the narrative just stops time. Their eyes meet. It's presented as this moment of destiny. Two souls, two worlds, and two destinies became acquainted.
Like a century of waiting had ended. It's incredibly potent. This isn't just meeting someone, it's portrayed as a cosmic event.
Absolutely. Yasmina feels drawn towards him, this unknown attraction. The air is thick with magic, like an old talisman opened.
And Jafraan's look, it's not desire, it's familiarity. Like they've known each other for ages.
Yeah, without wonder or lust. And for Yasmina, that's key. For the first time, she's not a princess, not an heir.
She's simply a girl who had come to recognize herself, her being. She feels seen for who she truly is.
And his way of communicating, the dry leaves on the pond.
Right. That detail is so vivid. He tells her there are answers from the wind. Yes, questions in the morning. The wind brings answers on leaves in the evening.
It's pure magic, but so grounded in nature.
Exactly. It defines his whole character, that connection. Yasmina feels like she stepped into a story she only dreamed of.
And Jafraan tells her a story too, doesn't he? His voice is described as this softness.
Only audible to those whose silence speaks. He tells of a princess talking to birds, a faker turning dreams into colors.
A fakir, like a mystic.
Yes, a spiritual ascetic. And their destinies are written by a riverbank. Yasmina hears her own past and future in it.
Her heart pounds, not with fear, but with understanding. The meaning of her own heartbeat becomes clear.
Powerful stuff. And they stay there in this silence. No guards call, no palace walls intrude. It's in that quiet space that the first letters of love began to echo.
But as you said, the story warns us. Meetings are granted, but tests follow.
Right. This encounter, however profound, is just the first word. Ahead lie sultanates, crowns, and these 7 chains. The first one, loyalty, Hawafa.
Yasmina goes back to the palace, but everything's changed for her. Her heart was now captive to free skies.
Jafraan, his words, those leaves, they've opened up a whole new world inside her. She feels she belonged to someone else.
And predictably, word gets out. The Wazir Kaz, the chief minister, tells the king.
He informs King Shahryar that Yasmina has been meeting this magician, Jafraan.
And the king's reaction? Pure fury.
Red-face rage. It's an insult to his pride, his lineage, his throne. He immediately orders Jafraan arrested.
And Yasmina. Total lockdown. Guards doubled, horse locked away. She becomes a dangerous secret instead of a treasure.
And here's where the narrative gets interesting about imprisonment. It explicitly says it's not just by walls.
Right. The real test of loyalty comes when the doors of the heart are closed.
It shifts the focus inward. It's not just about escaping, it's about where her heart truly lies.
Meanwhile, Jafraan gets a heads up from the winds. Amazing. And hides in the mountains.
He knows the palace means conflict, war, not passion, and he doesn't want that fight. But he doesn't abandon her.
No, he sends that ray of moonlight each night, like a magical text message.
Exactly. A silent message. I am near, I will hide, but I will not abandon my loyalty. It's incredibly romantic, but also shows his quiet strength.
While the king is trying to persuade her, calling it deceit, saying she's the heir, not meant for some fakir's dreams.
But her heart's already made its choice, hasn't it? She's found her own voice, her own desire to decide her life, his titles, the consequences. They don't matter to her feeling for Jafraan.
So one night, she goes to the palace wall, touches that moonlight,
and whispers this desperate plea. If you hear, come, take me, or this will be my funeral.
And boom, fog covers the pond. Jafraan appears. No sword, no weapons.
Just a golden handkerchief with a message.
A crucial one. The first chain of love is that we love each other more than ourselves. Now the decision is yours. Puts it all on her.
And she makes the choice, closes her eyes, one last look at the palace, and slides down to him.
Her internal declaration. I am no longer the king's daughter. I am only his who knows my heart.
It's a complete shift in identity, and the narrative frames this not as breaking loyalty, but strengthening it. True loyalty is to her own heart, her own path.
But as the story says, only the beginning. They've just kissed the first stone of love.
The journey ahead is tough. They leave the palace, heading into forests, hills, the unknown. It's framed as both freedom and sacrifice.
Royal army behind them. Uncharted world ahead.
But the story gives that reassurance. When the magic of love takes hold, paths are made not by stones, but by prayers.
Their first night out, under a banyan tree. Jafraan makes a bed with his coat, uses moonlight as a blanket.
It's tender, but the fear is still there, isn't it? Jafraan worries about being caught. Yasmina has to reconcile leaving everything behind.
That internal struggle continues. And then the external threat arrives. A spy attacks them in a valley.
Jafraan instantly protects her, uses his body as a shield.
Takes a dagger to the shoulder. That image of the blood on her white dress, stark.
She screams his name, but his response, it's just so, Jafraan.
This is the first wound of love, my dear. If it hadn't happened, how would we know we truly belong to each other?
It reframes pain completely, not as something destructive, but as proof of their bond.
And Yasmina's reaction, bandaging him with her dupatta, her scarf, hands trembling but eyes like fire.
Her declaration is fierce. If my love is true, this wound will be on my soul, not your body. She fully claims his pain is hers.
From then on, they're not just lovers. They're protectors.
That wound, the narrative says, did not separate them but bound them together. It introduces the second chain, wounds, or zach.
But things get worse. Jafraan gets sick, feverish.
And in his fever, he talks to the wings again. Yasmina cares for him constantly, forgetting all her palace comforts.
The princess on the softest bed, now sitting on the ground, tending to him. It's a huge transformation.
When he finally wakes up, he sees her asleep, head in his lap, praying. And he says,
the pain of the wound is gone because you were with me.
Just beautiful. It solidifies that connection. The second chain, wounds, strengthens their love. They become comrades, not just companions.
Really makes you think, doesn't it? How shared suffering, shared vulnerability can build something incredibly strong.
Absolutely. It's not about avoiding hardship, but how you meet it together. That's often where the deepest intimacy forms.
But the story isn't done testing them. The third chain is coming.
Sacrifice. Qurbani. This one is poised to take something from them. A dream, a decision, maybe even each other.
The narrative sets it up ominously. Some paths in love lead to a wall of sacrifice. You have to leave something precious behind.
Their love has grown strong, rooted in loyalty and shared wounds. But destiny demands more now. Something really difficult.
They reach this ancient settlement, a haven for mystics, healers.
Magicians, astrologers, and Jafraan's old teacher lives there, Baba Sharoan.
Someone who read unseen destinies and maybe knew how to change them.
Jafraan goes to him, explains their situation. We have loved, but destiny seems to want something from us. Help us.
Baba Sharoan looks at Yasmina, does this ritual with sand, which scatters in the wind. A bad omen.
Seems like it. His prophecy is devastating. A sacrifice is demanded.
Okay, what's the choice?
It's cruel. Love can remain, but not its physical existence. Either they live apart, holding on to the love in their hearts, or live together but lose all memory of each other.
Wow, that's impossible. Lose the connection or lose the person, essentially.
Sacrifice is required either way. The decision is theirs. Yasmina breaks down.
Understandably, Jafraan holds her hand, silent, but resolute.
Yeah. He voices the logic, heart-wrenching as it is. If you remain in my memories, I will recognize you unseen my whole life. But if you are before me and I can't recognize you, that life will be empty.
He chooses memory over presence without recognition.
And Yasmina agrees. Then let us become memories, not reality.
Oh man, so they choose separation to preserve the essence of their love.
They perform a quiet ritual, burying their love where the sky kisses the earth. Jafraan leaves for the mountains. Yasmina returns to the palace.
That scene must be crushing. Her telling her father, you won, we lost. Isn't that what you wanted?
It really drives home the cost of that sacrifice and makes you grapple with what love is, doesn't it? If you strip away presence and memory, what's left?
Does it exist just in the soul? Or does it need that shared experience?
The story really pushes that question. Can love survive as just an ideal?
But then, just when you think it's this tragic ending, there's a twist.
A big one. The king sees Yasmina's sadness, really sees it, and something changes in him.
Compassion, regret.
Seems like it. He actually summons Jafraan back from the mountains.
No way.
Yes. And he apologizes to both of them. He admits, true love always endures. I am not a tyrant to separate this true love.
What was his reason then? Fear.
He confesses it was fear. I just love my daughter immensely. I feared she would forget the palace and me if she loved you. It's surprisingly vulnerable.
So what does he do?
He arranges their marriage and appoints Jafraan his heir.
That's a complete turnaround.
It is.
Yeah.
He even tells Jafraan he might not have been a great ruler, that maybe his people aren't happy, just like he hurt his daughter. He puts his hope in Jafraan.
Trusting him because he's a true young man.
And Jafraan's response is so gracious. He comforts the king, basically saying the fear of separation can make anyone act badly.
Wow. And so they get their happy ending.
The story concludes, the king, Jafraan, Yasmina, and the people lived happily.
What an incredible arc. We went from this fated meeting through these immense trials, loyalty, wounds, sacrifice, right to the brink of tragedy.
And then redemption. The king's change of heart completely alters the outcome predicted by the prophecy.
It really highlights how love in this story isn't just about endurance, it's transformative. It changed Yasmina, it changed Jafraan, and ultimately it even changed the king.
Those chains didn't just test them, they forged something stronger. Loyalty wasn't broken, but redefined. Wounds created deeper bonds. And even the ultimate sacrifice led, unexpectedly, to resolution.
This deep dive shows how powerful a narrative can be, using metaphor to explore such complex emotions. Love isn't just presented as a feeling here.
No, it's shown as a series of choices, actions, sacrifices, and maybe even a force that can influence destiny.
That final twist with the king really makes you wonder about prophecies, doesn't it? Can a change of heart, an act of compassion, actually rewrite what seemed inevitable?
It's a fascinating question the story leaves us with. How much is fated and how much is shaped by our choices, our empathy, our willingness to change?
It beautifully ties everything together, the personal journeys, the magical elements, the thematic weight.
So connecting this back for you, the listener, the story prompts us to think about commitment, following your heart, and the strength that takes.
And maybe also about those chains in our own lives, things that feel like constraints, expectations, maybe past hurts, fears.
Right. Could those things, viewed differently, actually become pathways? Ways to strengthen who we are or find a more authentic direction? It's something to mull over.
A powerful thought to end on. What seems like a chain might actually hold the key.